What do you hear? What do you say? This is VERTiiGO bringing you another raid cam video, and we are back on Rustralasia, and this is the base of Aussie. Aussie was part of the raid on my last raid cam video. He was one of the raiders, and this is his base, but it's more than just a base. It's more like a village, really. Some of the raiders from the last raid video have been raided since, and they have all pretty much come over to Aussie's area and they have built their bases, and it's turned into quite a little area. They got some good vantage points, they got some good bases constructed, they got a wall up. They weren't able to complete the wall, but they have been expecting a raid, a retaliation from B&E for some time, but it is yet to happen. But today is the day, so let's take a quick look at the raiders. As you can see, the raiders are indeed B&E. We got Buckle here giving these final instructions before they leave the base. There is quite a lot of raiders here. I mean, I wasn't expecting a party of this size, not tonight anyway, but they have got quite a sizable advantage compared to what Aussie has. I mean, Aussie is online, but he has nowhere near this firepower. These two groups have been going at it back and forth for the last few days. A lot of words have been exchanged, and this attack could get very personal. I'm not sure how personal, but there is history here, and I'm very keen to see what happens. As you can see, the sun is starting to go down. This was a planned strategy by B&E, and a very good one. They got such a large group, they didn't want to be noticed. They didn't want Aussie being warned, so they're moving during the night to cover their tracks. The raiders have arrived here, and they have found a place well hidden behind a rock, and they are putting up a bunker of some sorts to put down their gear, to put down sleeping bags. They're really bunkering down now, and Aussie's group have yet to notice their arrival. B&E's plan so far is going extremely smoothly, and they have shown tremendous patience to wait until Aussie's group are at their weakest. Aussie only has about 3 to 4 people online at this moment. That's the lowest they've had for quite some time. They have been ready for a raid, but they're really weak at the moment. B&E have been patient, and their patience could pay off here unless Aussie can get people online once the raid begins. Looks like the raiders are going to wait till sunrise, so we will as well. It is the early hours of the morning, and the raiders are now moving. I'm very keen to see whether or not their plan runs as smoothly as it has thus far, because the defenders have absolutely no idea that this raid is about to go down. As the raiders have moved closer to their target, they've noticed that the defenders have put down some spike barricades. That blocks off where they can attack from. They have got an opening here, and I think they're going to take it. They're having a last look, and they are moving in. Here we go, people. The raid is about to begin. I'm very keen to see what the plan is here, because this is the biggest clan on the server, and I want to see just how well organized this group is. And they have thrown some C4 on the door here on this big base, and that has brought down the sheet metal door. No surprise there. And they are moving in, and we've got some rocket fire now, and that's being shot at the rock base, so they are hitting 2 bases at once. Good strategy considering they have got a group big enough to do it. This rocket fire would be getting heard around the valley. Aussie would know this attack is happening, and hopefully he can get people online to help him defend it. But they are doing some pretty big damage here, and we've got some C4 again going off in this big base. It looks like they're blasting the foundations. They could be trying to just destroy this base totally. The rocket fire is continuing here. A lot of the shots are hitting the rock, unfortunately for the raiders. But we have got a defender here from the cave base, I believe. This could be Aussie himself, and it is. He's going to be shooting from this window, but can you imagine looking out the window and seeing this? I mean, there's not much he can do by himself. He needs his allies to come online quickly, but the destruction is happening so fast and so pinpoint. These bases might be gone by the time people even get online to defend them. They're using C4 on the big base on the left. The rocket fire is continuing on the rock base. Just complete annihilation at this point in time, and the raiders have destroyed the foundation of the big base. Unfortunately for them, it is floating. Oh, the destruction on the rock base is apparent. It's not much of a base anymore. It's virtually just a wall with some windows. We now have some rocket fire towards the cave base. This base is the most important base here. It is Aussie's #1 base, but it is also the most fortified. It's going to be interesting to see what they do here. The raiders are now backing off. Perhaps they've run out of explosives, or maybe they're just regrouping, but they have backed off. Well, that peace and quiet was short-lived. The raiders have returned, and they are firing some gunshots up at the hovering base, it looks like, and we got some defenders in the hovering base. And the attackers are throwing some C4 down below. Uh-oh. There you go, and a big chunk of the base comes down, and there is loot this time around. The raiders are going to get something out of this. I don't think that was their objective to get loot, but they'll take it. Unfortunately, the physics of this game, I'm not sure what's going on with the hovering bases at the moment. But from what I'm hearing, the developers should be fixing that pretty soon. They are aware of it. And more rocket fire at the cave base. Interesting. Maybe they got some rockets from that drop just then, and that's why they're shooting, because it looked like they were out of rockets a moment ago. We'll follow this one, and another wall comes down. Another couple rockets coming in, destroying again another couple walls, couple floors. They are now doing damage to this cave base. I don't know how much ammo they've got, but they are laying it all on that cave base. We have a couple defenders here shooting from the window of one of the other bases behind the cave base. They're shooting down at the raiders. This raid has been coming for some time. As I said earlier in the video, there were a lot of words exchanged from both groups leading up to this. Aussie's group did know that a raid was coming, but B&E, to their credit, were very patient. They have waited until Aussie's group were pretty much offline. There was 3 to 4 defenders here. And we have a sign here saying days since last raided, and raiders sign here, and we've got one of the raiders signing it, ironically, with bullets. Powerhouse here is holding his own. He's doing some damage to the raiders. He has hit a few of them, and he's getting hit himself, but he's doing a great job in defending. Aussie is repairing some of the walls inside the cave base, but the raiders have pretty much already done their damage. I'd say this has wounded Aussie's group more than it has destroyed them. Their main cave base is still standing, and that's what's most important for them. The most impressive thing about this raid was not necessarily the damage done, but the pinpoint accuracy and blinding speed in which it was done in. The plan was pretty simple from the raiders. They stuck to it, they came in, destroyed what they wanted to destroy, and now they're leaving. So from that point of view, it was a great raid to watch. This has been VERTiiGO. Until next time, may the force be with you, always. Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young. Fucking no respect for the anthem.